everyone, welcome to Supertrash Legends. I'm Jen.
And I am Melissa.
And today we're talking about episode 12, The Curse of the Earth Totem. But before we get into all of the things that we loved about this episode, we have a bit of housekeeping to take care of.
Yeah, so it came to our attention that our name of our podcast, the name of our podcast, may have a bad connotation for people that just see it and don't know what we are about. So we are considering changing the name. To what? I don't know. I had the feeling like, I don't know if you guys watch Parks and Rec, but when I was trying to think of new names today, it was like the episode where Leslie Knope is trying to save the gazebo, and she's trying to think of a color the White House can be besides white, and she cannot think of a single other color. That's what my mind was like when I was trying to think of a different name for the podcast.
So when Alyssa and I first thought about making this podcast, we originally were just going to talk about Supergirl and the ways that she and I are super trashy when we talk about Supergirl, especially in terms of shipping different characters together. Like we're just shipper trash.
We're trash.
So, shipper trash is another name that Alyssa has thrown out, as well as super gay. Maybe, with the same super kind of thing, but because we're talking about Legends as well as Supergirl, we're kind of thinking about expanding that name to encompass all of that. Or
and Legends is super gay.
Trash. Yeah, or super gay, because everything that we talk about in this podcast is gay.
Super queer.
Super
It's
queer.
just super. Our podcast should just be called Super.
Just super.
So yeah, we think about that, guys.
And get back to us and do the homework for us, because
you could
we
email
can't
us,
make a decision.
And you know that we always say our email at the end of the episode. And we may also do a Twitter poll. That was short for a Twitter poll. Twit poll. I don't know if that's a term that's used, but I'm using it now.
It's funny that your shortening of Twitter poll took longer to explain than just saying Twitter poll.
You know what?
I don't have to take this from you, Jen.
I don't. So yeah, okay. Now that that's out of the way, why don't we talk about the episode, which was like, you know what? This was a horrible episode.
This
I
was
don't
the
know.
worst
Like,
episode. You know what? I don't even know why we
happened.
do this podcast. This episode is exactly the opposite of the things that we want to see on our television.
It is everything we want to see on TV.
It is so good. Oh my god. So we normally start with talking about things that we hate. Did you hate anything in this episode? I can think of one thing.
There was one thing that I wish there was more Zari.
Yes. I agree.
I hated the end scene between Nate and Amaya, where it was like role-playing pirate sword sex thing.
Oh, I feel the opposite. I love that. If Amaya came at me that way, in that accent, pointing a sword at me.
If she came at me that way, that'd be one thing.
Splooshed.
Her going at Nate that way, I did not like.
Yeah, but he didn't really say anything, so he didn't ruin it. So I could easily role play myself in that Nate role, and then it's not so bad. And then it's like, okay, yeah, she's so gorgeous.
I know what the other thing's going to be for you.
The hair.
Oh, okay, I guess there's going to be 3 now.
The hair situation in this episode was a mess.
I don't know what was going on with Amaya's hair.
Why did they do that to her beautiful hair?
It was bizarre. The weird part was the next thing was Zari walks in. I actually liked Zari's hair.
I did too.
And then she's like, they made a point of saying something about Zari's hair, nothing about Amaya's. And then Zari's like, I don't really like it. I'm like, Zari, you have to say something about Amaya's hair. You can't have a conversation about hair the first scene of the episode with Amaya looking like that and not say something.
Maybe that's why. Maybe like she was like so freaked out about the way that Amaya's hair looked that she was like, I can't draw attention to it. So I'm just going to back out of this conversation right now as awkwardly as possible.
And then the wig situation. Do you want to do that one now or later?
Oh my god. I said earlier on Twitter that Nate and Ray's hair took 10 years off my life. But there's no reason why they needed to wear those wigs the entire episode. It was legit stressing me out when they were trying to have serious conversations with Sarah. Take those damn things off your godforsaken heads, for the love of duh.
Nate wasn't as bad to me. Ray's was worse. Ray's was
It looked like he
horrendous.
made it himself.
Ray's was horrendous. Was Mick wearing a wig?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Mick is his own damn pirate. He's not wearing a wig.
I was like trying to think about that. Ray's was the worst.
The worst.
I didn't even really pay attention to Nate's because Ray's was so oof.
They were both just really, really bad, and then side by side, I was twitchy.
Okay, well, and then Damien Dark was what I thought the other thing was going to be for you.
I did hate Damien Dark. He was hardly in the episode, but man, am I over him. I'm so done. I'm so done with whatever
so
it
is
is that
Sarah.
he's doing. And
Sarah's like,
well, obviously.
Oh, Dark again. Not
Yeah.
like angry anymore. She's just like, really? Come on.
I left my date for this.
I know. Okay, now getting into the episode, I just want to point out that Mick's first line in this episode was, "Looks like a hemorrhoid."
Yep.
Is there anything better?
I don't like that. That is precisely what I love about this show, is that the actor probably came on set, saw that, and said that line, and they were like, "Yep, we're keeping that." I honestly
And it
think
did
that
look like a
most
hemorrhoid.
of those lines are ad-libbed. It did look like a hemorrhoid. And so, they come in and they say these things. They're like, yeah, that's pretty organic to the character. Let's leave it. It's good.
And then the fact that Mick still assumes that Sarah is always gonna be dating guys is so funny to me. Because besides Constantine, when was the last guy that she pursued?
What do you mean? That he
was like,
assumes that...
Oh, because he was like, oh yeah, we've been texting some dude. Also, because he's been apparently he spies through everyone's phone to pass time. That's something we learned during this week.
Maybe the way that Sarah has Ava labeled in her phone.
How do you think she has her labeled?
I don't know. Agent Sharp?
But he knows who Agent Sharp is.
Does he, though? I don't feel like he knows names. I don't feel like he pays attention to anyone's names. Honestly, though, I only think that he knows Sarah's name because she's captain, and for whatever reason, because I kind of low-key think that he's in love with her, he knows Amaya's full name. The Dread Pirate Jiwei? Come on. He knows her full name. He doesn't know anyone else's full name. No way. I don't think he knows his full name. Yeah. So
good.
He would see Agent Sharp, and probably because he's a teeny bit sexist, would assume that it's a dude. And maybe the way that Sarah talks to Agent Sharp.
Yeah. We're saving the date for last, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. So we could talk about the pirate stuff. And
I liked how there were three distinct stuff going on. Plots.
And they were all solid plot lines.
Yes.
They all led somewhere. They had great character moments.
And actually almost 3.5. Because once they left Bahamas, they kind of had their own thing going on. So it was almost 4 plots.
Yeah, I don't know if I really count the Nate and Ray stuff as a
Well, you know what? That's the only way Zari comes in, so.
I know. Her sweet little heart. Oh. Anyway. All right, so.
That hair.
The legends go to Nassau to try to get...
Nassau?
Nassau.
Is that how you say it? I say Nassau.
I thought...
I mean, I don't know. I guess because here there's Nassau, Long Island. So I just always assumed it was Nassau.
I don't know. I always heard it as Nassau. I don't know. How about everybody, if you write in, is it Nassau or Nassau?
The New York pronunciation of things isn't usually right, so you probably are right.
That's true. I do love being right.
I hate being wrong, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Whose heart are you going to break this time? All right. So, yeah, in Nassau, they decide to... You can't take me seriously. I'm going to say...
Why don't we just call it Bahamas?
I'm going to say it every chance I get. Nope. In Nassau, they...
I'm going to edit out every single fucking one.
The power of the editing. They need to get the Earth Totem from Blackbeard, who he gifted to his Was it his wife? Girlfriend?
I don't know.
Who was she to him?
I thought it was just Poison Ivy. I had no idea what was going on there.
She was gorgeous. Her voice was wonderful.
And see why we call each other trash?
This is exactly why we're trash. We are super trash. So they need this totem. And Amaya is dealing with some shit because she doesn't feel confident in herself. She's struggling with what she needs to do next.
Can I just bring up one of my favorite lines of the episode?
Yeah.
Coming from Amaya, going, my granddaughter, the good one. She's out there.
But you know what though? Everybody has their favorites. Like if you have multiple kids, you know damn well you have a favorite.
But you go, my granddaughter. No, the good one. I was dying, especially because I thought she kind of just bonded with the other one a little when she realized that like she left her for dead.
Yeah, like her mother and sister left her for dead.
And now she's just like, yeah, the bad one is over there, but the good one we can save.
I really don't want to ruin the good one's life. Like, she still has a chance.
It's also, like, weird coming from Amaya saying that. Like, that's not something I would expect Amaya to say.
I would
Zari?
expect that from
Yes.
Zari. Yeah, 100% from Zari. Amaya, she's a little sweeter. And so... But, I mean, maybe she knows the
My
nature of
granddaughter,
people.
the good one.
The good one. So this whole time travel thing is really weighing on her. And I like this from her. I like this storyline, even though it involves Nate in that way and that she can't allow herself a future with Nate because of all of these different factors that, you know, the future holds for the world. I like that she has to make that choice. It's a tough choice for her character.
It's not even a choice. Like, it's one of those things that, like, it's almost not a choice, you know?
How so?
Wait, what do you think the choice is?
Well, so I'm thinking from her perspective. Either she stays with Nate, the person she loves, and continues that future, and potentially, in her mind, likely ruins the future for both Kuasa and oh my gosh, Mari. And so she thinks that if she stays with Nate, they're not born. And then
If he's the father, I'm gonna scream.
Really?
Yes.
I think he's probably the father. I think that's where they're going.
I hope not.
So, but this is her choice, right? The future of her family line, or Nate, which is more important to her, the present or the future. And she's afraid that any decision that she makes will ruin one or both of those. So she's crippled by that.
I guess for me, it's like, I wish Nate was more of an adult, being like, okay, this is something you have to do and I understand, instead of making it harder for her.
He is he is childish about this because he loves her and he wants her, and I understand that and I get that, but at some point...
His stuff is about him, not her.
Oh, it's true. It's
his
about
wanting
possessing
her is
her.
about him.
Yeah.
Not about them. Not about her feelings. He doesn't really care about what she feels as long as she likes him.
I mean, I don't think that he's that bad a guy and that he's so selfish to...
I don't think it's about him being a guy or not. I think it's just about him being self-absorbed.
But see, I don't think that he's completely self-absorbed in that. I just don't think that he... Honestly, I think that he's... And this doesn't make him right, and this doesn't make any of this okay. But I honestly think that he believes that if she had a problem with it, she'd say so. He never asks her how she feels about it, what choice she wants to make, because she does love him and she wants to be with him. And so because she's never said anything otherwise, he just assumes it's okay.
Yeah, she has. She's like, we can't do this many times.
Yes. But then she goes and has sex with him again. So, you know, and again, it's probably because he just wore her down. And that, again, not okay.
No, you're saying that's totally okay. You're saying that guys should wear girls down.
You know what, guys? Yeah. 1,000 no's and then a yes is a yes. All the guys that listen to this podcast.
N equals 1.
Yes.
I
I don't hate Nate.
I don't hate Nate. I hate Nate with her. The same way I've been catching up on The Flash. The same way that I really don't like Barry with Iris. Because
Barry season 3 is awful.
Because it's just his soul. He's just so almost one-dimensional in the way that that's all he cares about. Iris. Being in with Iris. Making sure Iris is okay. Making sure that not even Iris is okay. Making sure him and Iris are okay. And that's kind of how I see Nate a little.
That kind of overbearing, I need her to survive and without her I'm nothing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without it being that, like, serious of a relationship. But, okay, so...
But I didn't hate their end scene between the two of them. I thought it was kind of cute.
Anyway.
Mostly because she's cute, and that makes it better.
Oh my god, that accent.
Dude. It was so good.
We need that more.
I need more of that. I need something to happen in the time sphere or something that allows her to continue having that accent.
Or just like a Lena thing where it just comes back.
It's magical. She dumps her boy and then all of a sudden her truth comes out. And so does the accent.
And sorry.
So I liked the pirate stuff. I loved Mick and Amaya. Honestly,
yes.
That was a true highlight for me. I love Mick and I love the way that he treats Amaya. Because I think of all of the characters, he really gets her. And he could tell that something was wrong. And so he
wanted her to have a good time.
He wanted her to have a good time, but also in his own way, that's how he helps her decide what she wants to do. Because he knew that she was never going to make a decision for herself sitting there and dwelling on it. So instead, he gave her that strength and opportunity to act on the things that she was feeling right there, right then in that moment, whatever she felt she could do. And she had the strength to do it. And he told her that she didn't need the totem to be a badass. And he helped her be that badass. And
I think you're giving Mick a little more credit than he deserves. I think a lot of that stuff is what came out of it. I don't know if all of that was his intent.
I do. I think that Mick is a lot smarter than he lets on. I think that he plays a dum-dum because that's what people expect of him. But I actually think he's really intelligent.
I agree to a certain point, but I don't think that he really thought about it as much as you thought about it.
I think he did.
Okay.
I've thought this for a really long time about Mick. I think even some of my earliest Legends of Tomorrow reviews talk about, like, how I think that Mick plays the dum-dum just for the sake of the crew because they need him to be stupid.
And also Snart kind of needs it. Snart needs him to be his sidekick.
Exactly. Everybody needs him to be the brute. They need him to be the muscle and the one who nobody's really coming to Mick for advice.
Mm-hmm.
But there he is anyway. Twice he came to people this episode. He went to Ray and he went to Amaya and offered solid advice. And I just
Ray went the wrong way, but
what makes you say that?
I mean, he got kidnapped.
Yeah, but he was being a good person. Like,
oh, no. I'm not saying it was Mick's fault. I'm saying it was Ray, not...
No, I know, but Ray was being a good person going and trying to save Nora.
Yeah, I just fucking hate the dark so much.
So, by the way, I didn't know this until after the episode, but apparently the actress who plays Nora is Ray's real-life wife.
What?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
I didn't either. And, she's hot, so...
She looks a lot younger.
Yeah. I think they're the same age.
I mean, I don't doubt that.
I haven't properly Wikipedia stalked them, but I assume they're close in age.
She also plays a younger... I actually don't know how old her character is on the show.
I also assume that she's around their age, right? Because they went back in time to the was it the 70s that they did the horror episode with Constantine? Yeah. So yeah, she's mid
How
to
old
late
is
30s.
Dark then?
Ancient.
So do you want to just finish up what happens there?
With
I don't even know what we were talking about.
The pirate stuff.
Yeah.
I liked that Blackbeard was kind of incompetent and a coward. It was a little too much, I think. He took it a little too far to the point where it was irritating. But I really enjoyed it. Amaya in the pirate outfit, the accent, the better hair. The pirate, like, everything.
Do you think that was a wig? Her bad hair in the beginning?
I don't know.
I just want to know the thought process behind it.
I don't know. Don't do that to her hair, though. If that's her real hair and y'all did that to her hair, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, what if that's what she wanted? Then we shouldn't really judge her. What if that's how she likes her hair? And then we're being horrible people.
I don't want to be a horrible person, and I want to let her choose. But I also don't
want her to choose that.
I also don't want her to do that to her hair. Because I don't think that her hair normally looks bad. So,
that was just bad.
Straight.
I wonder if it was like, it was easier to keep like that so they could put the wigs on. I have no idea.
I don't know. But if you guys do know, let us know. Leave a comment. Hit us up on Twitter. Because inquiring minds need to know. So, yeah, I liked the pirate stuff. I think that was a really cool setting.
I would have loved to see Sarah there.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I could handle both Amaya and Sarah in pirate garb.
And Zari. Actually, I don't even know if I really need to see. Zari would be like Mick. There's no way Zari would dress up.
No, she would just be Zari.
She would just go with her like flannel shirt.
Ugh, stop it. Her in that flannel shirt, killing me. So, okay. Wally is so adorable. Oh my god, I love him. He is just... I
loved how they shat on the Flash.
Oh, like how he didn't fit in?
There was like, no, that they just dumped you. They didn't want to be, like, they didn't support you, so you left.
Oh, I know. But that's kind of how it was, though. That is kind of how it was in the show. And I know that he left the Flash for his own personal reasons, and I understand that. But even before then, as you'll see in season 3 of The Flash, I don't think that they didn't do right by his character. And that's frustrating for me because I think that the actor is wonderful. And I think that Wally West is a really great character.
Oh, I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah, I'm excited for him to join the Legends. I am excited to see what they do with him.
He pants Gary.
Fit right in.
Like, he pants Gary tonight.
Oh, I know.
And he called Rip a douche. Like,
yep.
He belongs.
Right, he totally belongs. Boy, I just oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. I'm like jumping up and down in my chair. I'm so giddy to see what Wally does with the Legends.
So Rip finds him because he tracked his MP3 player, which
That's
mean,
weird,
most people's
right?
MP3 players are their phones now, right?
Yeah.
And it had the song Careless Whisper on repeat, which is the reason they stole the time watch to go
back in time in Tokyo to sing Careless Whisper.
Was that why?
I don't know if that's why. I assume that Rip stole that for his own personal reasons that we'll see in the future.
Okay.
But that was just something fun for them to do with it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What? Oh my god. I didn't even need to look at Rip. I was just watching Wally the whole time. His like hand gestures while he was singing, and the fact that he was sitting cross-legged on a stool.
Yeah.
What happened to his bun by the end of the episode, by the way? Because I'm pretty sure it disappeared.
I think that's just the way that he had his hair. Like, his hair is just long enough that he can throw it into a little bun, and then he can also slick it back.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, did the bun disappear?
Rip just cut it off at the top.
Would not be surprised.
He's kind of a jerk.
Okay, I don't know much of this is going to be a random question. I don't know much about guys' attire. What were those things around Gary's ankles or calves?
I didn't see. anything around his ankles
It's
or
like
calves.
something that's like a buckle. And I'm like, is that where you hold a gun? But I don't think so because it was on both legs. If anyone knows what those things are, let us know.
I have no
I
idea.
could probably Google it, but I don't know how to Google like buckle things on guys' calves clothes. Jen is looking it up.
Let's see.
Did you get porn?
I didn't. I actually got a lot of women's boots. So
That is not what it was. we'll look it up later, Jen. Or you're like dead set on.
oh, was it the things holding up his socks?
Oh, I guess, but his socks weren't held up.
It's usually for dress socks.
Okay.
I guess I should go back and actually look at what he was wearing. I don't notice these things in detail like you do. So.
Ugh, I love Wally so much.
I do too. I can't wait. Ugh, he's so
And like
adorable.
Jesse's coming too. Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, Jesse's joining the Wave Rider.
Stop it. Stop it.
I can't. I couldn't if I tried.
I need a moment to be alone. I also love Jessie. I also think she's wonderful and she's too good for the Flash. I'm so happy. Boy, this is so good. This does make up for the fact that they still have Dark as the villain right now.
Can you imagine who's Speedster on the Wave Rider?
Gideon is going to be so pissed. They're going to make such a mess.
There's just going to be papers flying everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, speedsters just do not know how to walk.
They're going to have speedster sex on the Wave Rider.
I mean, they always had speedster sex.
I know, but, like, they were in, like, Star Labs or wherever else.
I mean, they're going to be in their own quarters. It's not
yeah,
like...
but, like, think of the dangers of using your speed on the Wave Rider.
Yeah.
You're literally just speeding through time already, and then you're going to use your super speed?
But
I don't
they
know.
don't really
I feel like
speed
there's
through
some danger.
They don't speed through time that often. That's a Barry thing.
Okay, all right. We are
Anyway.
wasting time because we have to talk about the most important part of this episode.
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Do you want to go first?
Oh my god. Okay, I want to just back up to the fact that I love that there was no discussion of like, is she gay, is she not? Like, that whole thing was just like, there's just two people that are attracted and they're going on a date.
Yes.
And I
love
love
too.
that. There was not a discussion of like Sarah being like, oh, do you think she's gay, blah blah blah. It was just like, no, we like each other and we're gonna do this. It doesn't need to have more discussion.
Yeah,
And
there
I
didn't
love
need
that.
to be any pomp and circumstance
Yeah.
around, Ava coming out to Sarah or vice versa. It was just, you know what, she's hot, she's crushing on you.
Sarah doesn't need to come out to anyone.
Everybody knows that Sarah is gay as fuck.
Bisexual as fuck.
Yeah.
And everything. Okay, first of all, she wasn't wearing a dress, was she?
Who?
Sarah. I'm pretty sure that was a jumper. They called it a dress at the end, but I'm pretty sure they were shorts.
I think it was a dress. I think it was a red dress.
Go and look back and look at it when she's from behind, when she gets up to say hi to Ava. Look at it right now.
No, I'm like 99.9% certain this is a dress.
Are you looking at that one scene I'm telling you to look at?
No, but I'm looking at pictures of her and I'm pretty sure it's a dress.
Okay, well, I'm going to send you a picture of what I'm talking about later.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's maybe not. Possibly.
That's a weird shape for a jumper,
That's what it was. So from behind, like there was.
This is totally the style of a dress. Oh my god! And I can't stop looking at her.
I'm telling you. Hold on. You will at least see why I thought it might not be.
Okay.
But I love like them trying to figure out the dominance in the beginning.
Trying to who's gonna pull out the chair for whom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I loved it.
I didn't realize until rewatching, because I think I was just so consumed of like how heart-wrenching it was, like the look on her face when Ava was like, let's just have a normal night out. Like she got so anxious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize until this, like, a second viewing of, like, how uncomfortable and how self-conscious she was to be making sure that she was being normal.
I mean, Sarah's never been a normal person.
I know, but she was trying so hard for this for her.
And I think that's proof of how much she likes Ava.
Yes.
She was willing to try to be normal for her.
And she wanted to be normal for her.
She did. She wanted that normal date night.
But like as soon as she said that, as soon as Ava said that, you could see like Sarah's face drop a little.
Oh. But she doesn't want her to be normal. She wants her to be her.
Did you see the thing that Katrina Law posted today?
Yes, I did. The picture of her. It took me a second. I was like, wait, what am I looking at? She's just supporting Avalance. Oh.
I'm not going to lie. I love Avalance. Love them.
If Nyssa comes back, though.
Done. I don't care. Ava who?
Oh, I don't know. Ava is... There is something very, very soft between Ava and Sarah that was never there with Sarah and Nyssa. Like, so at the end, when they're, having their end of episode conversation, and Ava jokes about calling Sarah Peter Pan. And the way that Sarah, like, puts her finger out and, like, almost touches her and says, don't. And then the smile that creases her face.
That smile melts my heart.
It's so so everybody talks about the kiss, and we'll talk about that in a second. But for me, that scene was way more intense and emotional than the rest of it, because
that smile is everything.
That smile is everything. That genuine moment between the two of them, where Sarah bickers and is like, yeah, you're right. It is your fault. And Ava kind of smiles a little bit and is like, she wants to, like, say something snarky back, but she just loves her so much. And I can't, like, oh my gosh, like, my heart's fluttering right now just talking about all of it. I loved that scene between the two of them.
I think it was just, like, I was trying to think about it today, and I'm like, we see the smirk that she does when she's being, like, coy and stuff, but, like, we've never seen a pure joy smile come out of Sarah's face, mouth? I don't know, one of those two things. Like, it was just so, it lit me up.
Yes.
Like, it was just so adorable.
So good. It was so good.
And then they go back to her room to fuck.
Oh my god. And that's the thing that I love too, is that, like, Ava, so far, you kind of think of her as this cute little puppy, like, she seems very sweet and naive and innocent when it comes to all this, but I think that she was the one making all of the, my impression of her throughout up until this episode was that she was kind of the sweet one, We always see, I see Sarah as, obviously I make the joke that Sarah would have sex with a toaster, and she would just woo the pants off of anybody, and she's proven that she can. And I love that about her, but we haven't really seen that kind of devious behavior from Ava until this episode, when Ava is the one making all of those really sexual advances, especially with asking about going to the room and then her face afterwards. And then, I just think that Ava was the one making those advances where Sarah was the one holding back.
Yeah, but that started last week.
Yeah, I know.
Well, 2 weeks ago, actually. I guess I saw it more of like she didn't want to do it. Like, as soon as Ava realized what she was feeling, she's like, okay, I'm doing this.
I still didn't see it as kind of as the same way that Sarah behaves. You know what I mean?
I don't think it is the same way. I think that she just really likes Sarah.
Yeah.
And she just, like, I don't think it's the same way.
Okay.
But I don't know. I've never seen Ava, like, flirt with anyone else. If they want to show me that, they can.
Behind the scenes footage of Ava flirting with everybody.
Like
everyone except for Gary.
Oh God, fuck Gary.
So, okay. Let's talk about the kiss.
The date. Oh.
The date? Okay.
Yeah. So then Gary. Well, so she gets a call from Gideon, and, like, again, these were all the little things. Is like she gets a call from Gideon. She's trying so hard to ignore it because Ava was like, let's have this not be a work thing. Let's not talk about anything work. And she gets it, and I was surprised that she ignored that when she was like, yeah, your team just left for 17-17.
Yeah, the babysitter called, and the children have escaped the house, and she doesn't know where they went, but they stole the car.
But she was still trying so hard to be normal that she's like, okay, I can do this. They can do this without me. And then Gary comes after he got pantsed. And that's when she sees the Wave Rider drop from the sky. And then she just ditches her. Oh my god, that was... Okay, so there was this one where she's talking to Zari. And they're like, oh, how's the date? And she said, it's over. And the way she said it, I don't know why I had the connotation in my head. But the first thing that came to mind was the end of Contact and Rent. When everyone's like, it's over. It's over. It's over. And I just like almost started crying. Because I'm like, this is so sad. And especially thinking of what that song is in Rent.
Right.
And I was just like, I want to cry. And I started crying a little.
Aww.
Because I was just so hard to see Sarah like that. Like, so disappointed. And she was so disappointed that she couldn't even be mad at Nate and Ray when she got back to the ship. She didn't even have it in her to be mad at them because she was so disappointed. She's like, I didn't give up on anything except that realizing I can never be normal.
Like, Sarah is, and I think that's probably for Ava too, but the two of them are like single moms. They tried to have this normalcy between them. They could just go out and be themselves again and not have to worry about the things back home, so to speak. And instead, all this stuff blows up in both their faces, and they realize that they can't pretend like those parts of their lives don't exist. And for Sarah, she probably thought, well, if I can't, pretend like this doesn't exist, then I just can't have that normal date life. I can't be normal with Ava. I can't love her. So it was probably this just avalanche of all these bad emotions, of all of her worst fears coming true. And that she thinks that she is unlovable and that she doesn't deserve these normal, so to speak, things in her life. So instead, she's just going to run away from them. Yeah. And so when Ava got up to do that, to leave, to deal with Gary and his situation, it probably just all came crashing down on her like the Wave Rider in town.
Yeah. Can we talk about, just go back for a second, that regular cannonballs took the Wave Rider down? Shouldn't the Wave Rider be a little bit more technologically advanced, that like cannonballs from 1717 don't destroy it?
Well, I mean, you think about it, it's really just metal bits held together. The tech is what keeps it safe, so shields and things like that, but they all went down because of the Bermuda Triangle. So yeah, it's gonna knock it out of the sky.
So then, Ava comes back to the Wave Rider, and this is one of I just found it so entertaining because obviously Ava's pissed, and she's like, "Don't talk to me like that. You
stood me up, jerk."
Yeah, you stood me up, jerk. And then they have this first conversation. She's like, "Oh, like, yeah, I'm sorry that I'm like a mature adult." And then she walks by Sarah and does like a shoulder, like, push. And I'm like, you just called yourself a mature adult and then you just knock shoulders with Sarah. I just thought it was so funny because it's like so not what a mature adult would do in that situation.
So petty. Everything that Ava did in that moment was petty as fuck. And I loved it. I love that because you think about Ava and how she has in the past dealt with these situations, and Sarah too, to an extent. And that when they are faced with that kind of a scenario where something upsets them, they usually contain their emotions pretty well. Both of them. But when it comes to either of them, they have fought since day one. They have been at each other's throats since day one. And so finally, when they come close to having this thing that they both wanted, and then it gets screwed up, they revert back to that bickering nature. But then there's also that emotion tied to it. So they just get, and Ava especially gets petty. She just loses it. She doesn't know how to handle her disappointment with it. So Sarah pulls within herself and can't even find it in her emotions to get mad at Nate and Ray. And it's so easy to get mad at Nate and Ray. But
So-
Ava
especially
instead
when they look like
lashes
that.
out. Yeah. And I think it's
When did
wonderful.
they steal her time watch, by the way?
Who?
Nate and Ray.
I don't know. I was going to ask you that. When did they get the ability to just be able to port in and out of the ship like that?
Well, they got the time watch, but like, when did they get it from her? Was she so distracted fighting with Sarah that they just pulled it off her wrist?
Was
and
it
she
the
didn't
Viking
realize?
episode with Bebo?
No, they didn't. Did they already have it? I don't think they had it. I thought they took it from her.
It sounds
Then.
like them. I don't know.
I don't think it was on the ship already.
I would have to go back and watch. I don't know.
I mean, if you make me watch the Bebo episode again, I guess I will.
I guess it's fine.
Oh, Stein. Baby Stein.
All right, so they bicker and they're fighting and they're pushing.
And then Sarah's like, I'll never be normal. And then Ava's like, I don't want you to be normal. Oh, God. It was so good.
So I loved that moment. I'm going to be honest. I didn't love the kiss. If only because I felt like it was a cop-out kind of a kiss. I wanted to see, I mean, let's be honest. I live for those moments to save in GIF format. And I want to see their faces when they lock lips. I'm
okay with it because we know that there's going to be more. Like, it's not like...
Yeah. I just feel like for their first kiss, it felt... I don't know. I was a little disappointed that was the one that we got. And I know why we needed the kiss at that angle so that Sarah wasn't going to see behind her. Ava's the one that pulls away. Like, I get that. But, like, give me, I don't know, 2 seconds of them sideways where I can see them kissing. And then have them turn. And then you can continue with the scene.
I'm gonna give them leeway on this one because I liked everything so much. Like I said, the kiss wasn't the main part for me. Like even if they didn't kiss, it would have been fine.
No, I agree. And like I said, like the best part of the episode for me was then afterwards them having their heart to heart, their rum floats, and
with the I don't even know how to pronounce it. The Jiwa rum.
Jiwa rum.
I would drink her rum.
Phrasing. Yeah. I'm excited to see where they go. I know that there's going to be a lot of rockiness to the relationship, but honestly,
there has to be. I would be upset if it wasn't.
I am just so happy that they had the slow burn to this. I am so happy that they had a whole episode arc dedicated to them. And that everyone on the crew knew how much they cared for each other. And they wanted so badly for Sarah to also have this night. And it's so completely different to all of, like, when you think about Maggie and Alex on Supergirl, they weren't given that same respect in that same time.
It was a different story.
It was a different story, and I understand that, but because Alex and Maggie were so far removed from so many of the storylines that it never really integrated as well as Sarah and Ava did.
Would you want Ava to be part of the team?
I mean, I think she already is kind of part of the team.
But would you want her to be a legend? My answer is no.
No, I say no, because I think that her job is in the Time Bureau.
And I also think that she needs to... First, God, can you imagine her having to deal with those fools?
She would not have the patience. I mean, Zori already doesn't have the patience for those fools.
She needs to just interact with Sarah. And she needs to be, like... And the girls. She cannot interact with those boys.
No, she'll kill them. She'll send them to some random time period and then forget where they went.
Except her and Wally could be friends.
Aw, yeah. But, no, I think that it is important for Ava to maintain her identity. And her identity is working for the Time Bureau. And
she's also not fucked up enough to be a legend.
That is so true. Yeah, she is way more normal than the rest of the legends.
You gotta have some pretty fucked up shit.
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that we get to learn more about Ava's backstory.
I do too. I was even thinking about this what I was rewatching. When and where is she from? Like,
yeah.
When? Well, apparently she knows James Bond, But, like, is she, like, from Zari's time? Is she from... Where and when is she from?
How does one apply for a job at the Time Bureau?
I know, because it's not like the, whatever, the time... Not the Time Lords, but was it? Time Masters that, like, Rip was in season 1.
Right.
Right? It's,
yeah.
It's like... But she's definitely... I thought she was from the future. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's hope that we learn about it.
Do you think that the Time Bureau is just, like, people from all random times?
Maybe. That would be pretty neat.
But also, I don't know how that would, like, logistically function.
Yeah, I don't know how you would find... Yeah, I don't know how you would find someone. Is the Time Bureau like when you're on the Wave Rider, that time doesn't pass there? So do you
but
work
it's a
at
building,
the Time Bureau
isn't it?
for life? What, there's a lot of logistics to this.
I'm trying to remember when they were first introduced. It was a building.
You know, we're just going to have to go back and rewatch. And then we'll, update our podcast accordingly.
Or not.
Or not. Or
we're not updating.
You know what?
Jen.
We could just do we could do a rewatch and then do a recap episode where we get caught up and just answer these questions.
Try to remember that stuff.
All right. Is there anything else that we want to add to this?
Yeah, we have to talk about the ending with Ray.
Oh, we do have to talk about the ending with Ray. I forgot about that.
You go.
I didn't hate this. I actually thought it was really, really sweet that he wanted to save her life because he remembered her as a little girl. And there's this thing in Ray that he inherently believes. He believes that everybody is inherently good. And I love that about him. I love that he is sunshine and rainbows, and he's going to make the world a better place by just being kind. And I think that is such a genuine thing from him that I really think that it would have, I don't want to say killed, but it would have sickened him. It might have killed him to know that he was the reason that Nora died, especially seeing her as a little girl, seeing the things that she went through with Malice. He would feel 100% responsible. And so, I know that he stayed there and he lingered a little bit, and it kind of opened himself up to what eventually did happen. But when he saw the goodness there was a flicker of it that when she remembered him, oh my goodness, it broke my heart.
The thing I just hate about it is the dark part. I'm just so over him. I just don't want him to be, I'm just so over his evilness and then him being a part of that. I was just like, it's like, here we go again with more dark.
I did like that he did not hesitate with handing over the totem to save her life.
See, I didn't like that because I'm like, that's not the person that we met 2 weeks ago that sent his daughter away for her own good. You know what I mean?
But I thought that was his being cruel to be kind of thing. He couldn't realistically take her with him because he knew that he was going to die in Star City.
I guess. I don't know. I'm just bring in Malice finally. I'm just really over it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%.
I never thought I would miss Thawne so much.
Yeah. But I didn't think that scene was bad.
I just think it was accumulation.
Culmination.
The culmination. I'm good with words, guys. I am a podcaster.
Nassau.
Bahamas. So yeah, I think that
about does it.
I could talk about Avalance for the rest.
Well,
of my life.
let's take all that fangirling and squeeing and stuff with Avalance to Twitter. I know, it's so good, and I'm so happy about it.
Do you think Gideon watches them having sex? Not them, but like everyone on the ship.
Maybe with one eye closed. I feel like she wants to watch.
She totally does not watch Nate and Amaya.
I don't know. I'd be really curious. I would probably watch.
After hearing their growl last week, I'm done.
Oh, I would watch it. I'm so nosy though. I think I would watch it at least once. And then I'd be like, no, I can't watch it again. And then I'd get curious, and then I'd be like, well, let me watch it one more time. And then, Yeah, I'd be spying on them. I think that Gideon watches them. Maybe she watches just the foreplay. I don't know. I if I were Gideon, I would watch them. But
Oh, if only we could get Gideon on the podcast.
oh, Gideon, hit us up on Twitter. All right.
Gideon, I know you're listening.
Gideon, also get us that copy of Mixed Book, please.
ASAP. Okay, that's all I have.
Yep. So just FYI again, if you guys have any thoughts on the title of the podcast, hit us up.
Or any thoughts.
And any thoughts on the podcast in general, any direction you'd like to see us take. You know, we take all kinds of compliments, of course, but constructive criticism as well is always welcome. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at Jen Stayrook.
You can find me at TV with APB, and you can find us, for now, at Supertrashcast.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, you could also email us, though, before Jen says
yep.
goodbye.
Oh.
At supertrashcast@gmail.com.
Let's try it again. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.